Go live for an impromptu special episode of In the Hot Seat Live. Of course, I'm not alone here. I got Austin. What's going on, man?
What up, man? I'm chilling. How you doing? How you doing?
Doing good. And since we didn't get to actually go live last night, I decided to bring the show here, special impromptu episode, and basically getting right down into it, just talking about mainly the other stuff on Survivor Series and what's going to be happening going into TLC, since I know you'll be going to that show.
Oh yeah.
And what things to look out for. So overall, just really not so much going overall thoughts on piece by piece on the matches of Survivor Series, but overall on the card, and how do you feel about it, and what were your overall thoughts?
Honestly, I like the show. Match quality wise, you can't really complain. First two matches were really good. I think they could have been a bit more creative with the show, which we'll get into later. But I think overall it was a good show. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. Of course, I had some disappointing spots, some really great spots, but overall I thought it was a really solid show.
Yeah, I mean, with that, I mean, for me, I thought it was a pretty good show. It could have been more done differently, if you ask me. I feel like Survivor Series isn't really that much the same as it used to be. I would have liked to see more tag team matches going into that, and just to make it a little bit more interesting. I mean, I always enjoy those type of, just how they had things out. It just kind of felt a little different than most Survivor Series, especially now too, for that, which kind of sucks. I mean, it is actually good event, and I do like the Survivor Series. So overall, Survivor Series to me just felt pretty good to me.
Oh yeah, good show.
Yeah. But with that being said, especially too with the last hangout that we were able to talk about, and basically getting into with the cash-in, we also had the tournament. And before we get into the cash-in and Sheamus winning overall, which I really wanted to talk about too a little bit more, getting more in depth on that. And what are your thoughts on the tournament, on who was in it, and then just how it turned out to be, and especially going into Survivor Series, and what do you feel about that?
I enjoyed the tournament. Some really great matches we got out of it, especially in the quarterfinals. And of course, the semifinals mostly. But I enjoyed the tournament. The only thing I wish is that it was a bit more unpredictable. The only really thing we got that was shocking was Kalisto beating Ryback. Ooh, whoopee.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I enjoyed the tournament. It definitely made Survivor Series a lot more interesting than if it was just Seth and Roman. Excuse me. But I just think that that's all they could do, and they did well with it. They could have done more, I think. But I enjoyed the tournament, and Sheamus cashing in. If we're gonna get into that,
Yeah.
do you want to get into that later as the main event, or do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we'll say that for a little bit.
All right. Yeah. All right. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, has seen this tournament actually continue into Survivor Series. I mean, it did make sense to actually continue it on and then go into like the quarterfinals, have it be, and the rest of the start of it being Raw and SmackDown. So that was nice to actually change things up a bit and to see who else was going to be able to win and go on and move on forward. So I like how they set it up and then who they had in it, and then made it for pretty interesting for Raw and SmackDown. So that was a nice touch. And then of course we had the semifinals and everything like that, and the finals for Survivor Series. And we got Angry Mark. What's going on, man? For the first time, how's it going?
It's going good, man.
All right, good to have you.
That's one hell of a profile picture. I like you already.
Yeah, but as we were getting into getting other thoughts into Survivor Series, how did you feel about it overall as a whole?
Oh God. You want to talk about a bad pay-per-view with terrible booking? I mean, this literally feels like they just threw spaghetti to the wall and was hoping it would stick so bad. Then they freaking trolled fans like me that actually like Roman Reigns but being champion, which pissed me off. It's like, really, you choose the Red Rooster over a real man as champion?
Come on. We can get into that argument later.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much like the next thing too. Like especially going into that when we had Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, and actually that was good. I mean, that's actually surprised me. I kind of thought it was going to be Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose going into that. I mean, excuse me, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. But that was something to be surprising about. So it was actually good for what it was, and then actually having the cash in, and then having that go down. So it's going to be, like I said in my review, going to get some time to get used to. I still don't know how I feel about Sheamus cashing in as of right now, but things are going to be pretty interesting, especially going into Raw tonight. So, Austin, your thoughts?
I really like the Sheamus cash in because Roman could have not walked out of that building as champion. He's not ready for the belt. His mic skills are extremely boring. I'm not a fan of him, and it's not. I'm not saying this because I'm not a fan of him. He just can't cut it for me. He lacks charisma. He's not over. A heel turn would have been good, but however, I feel like he needs to be face because he's their next golden boy. The next golden boy can't turn heel so quick, even though it would have worked. But well, second burp in like 2 minutes. Yeah, I think I don't know. And Dean turning heel, they couldn't have done that. Even though I think his promo tonight would have been incredible if he did that. But he's not a suit and tie type guy. He's not. It would have made 0 sense. And they need to keep him face because he's probably the most over face in the company. So Sheamus cashing in, I like. People can say what they want about him. Yeah, I know he's an ugly motherfucker, but that has nothing to do with it. He is a fantastic heel. He is a good worker. He fits perfectly because if Seth can't be there, then Sheamus is right there, and he's just going to drop the belt to Roman anyways. And then I'm sure Roman will drop the belt to Dean. I bet that's what I can see happening, to be honest. So I like the cash in. It's a lot better than, just a handshake and a hug and confetti and whatever. The crowd wasn't into Roman winning anyways, so that would have just been a really anticlimactic ending. So Sheamus winning did save the ending for me. And I think he's going to be a good champion. Maybe transitional, but I think it'll fit him. And I think Sheamus deserves it because he came back so strong. He's been doing so well as a heel. I think him winning makes sense.
All right, Angry Monkey, thoughts?
For me, man, I disagree. First off, I think Roman should have won because let's be honest, nobody even remembered that Sheamus was Money in the Bank champion for half the time. He was very forgettable, which means there's a good chance he could be forgettable as champion. And also, Sheamus really doesn't bring anything to the table. He's kind of irrelevant. I just don't understand it. It's like, what is he going to do with the title, And then Roman Reigns, him winning it, at least you know that you were going to get good matches. Granted, yes, his promo skills aren't good, but, if his promos are short, sweet, and to the point, then I bet he can become a good promo cutter. At the very, like an average one at the very least. And then on top of that, Roman Reigns is over, but only with a certain audience. He's over with the casual viewers. Which means he does have charisma. It's there. It's just a matter of the WWE not giving him the right booking. And if you have Roman Reigns win it and then you give him good booking, there's a lot of stuff you could have done right there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like to me, like going into this, Sheamus and Roman Reigns will actually be facing each other at TLC. So, I kind of somewhat see this a little bit, somewhat of a long-term feud going into that. So it's going to be something else to see how Sheamus is going to be able to be a part of the Authority now. So that's going to be something to look forward to. So we'll see what else is going to be happening with Raw. And another thing too that brought out to some with the discussion too earlier today, and about the Money in the Bank briefcase and how they handle that. And I almost thought just a little bit that Sheamus was going to lose, but he didn't, and he was able to come back and get the title like that. So I thought that was pretty interesting on how they did that. So that's going to get into my next thought on how do you feel about, especially now with the Money in the Bank briefcase and everything, and how should you basically have it be brought out, and how do you feel about it overall as of right now in terms of booking wise? Austin, your thoughts?
Well, here's the thing, Sheamus. All right, let's get this straight. Money in the Bank holders now are meant to be forgotten, so when they cash in, they're like, oh my god, I didn't expect it. No shit, because they've been getting buried for 6 months. So that's not Sheamus' fault.
Mhm.
He does have really good matches. His match with Cesaro at Night of Champions is probably a better wrestling match than Roman will ever have in his whole career. So
Yeah.
I think that Sheamus will have great matches, and he can work, a much better worker than Roman. I think that the booking should, even though it is what it is, and they have their way of viewing it, it's not how it should be. Like, yeah, they can do it that way, and how it's so shocking. Like,
Mhm.
no, we know he won Money in the Bank. Like, we're not stupid. Like,
Right.
we see him on TV every week with this big, bright gold briefcase that says Money in the Bank on it. We're not forgetting
Exactly.
anything.
Yeah.
So, I think that Sheamus winning this way, I mean, yeah, to us fans who actually have been watching, I don't know how long. Uh, what's your name? I don't remember you.
The Angry Mark. And sorry for
Angry
Yeah.
Mark.
coughing a lot. I was
It's,
ranting a lot in my last video.
No, it's fine.
yeah, Angry Mark. I don't know how long you've been watching, but you seem like a knowledgeable enough wrestling fan. I've been watching for 13 years, so I know how this shit goes.
Right.
And it's not surprising to me. But for like the casual fans, which basically are the people who watch wrestling now, which is
Mhm.
those are the people holding Roman up. And I think Roman is that way because he's a good-looking guy, and he does this thing, basically jerking off his hand, cock fist, and I think that's why people like him. Out when he talks, he doesn't get reactions. I want someone like The Rock who can talk to me, not. I
Mhm.
don't want someone who's just having a conversation with me. Roman
Right.
feels like he's just
That's so
having
like
a.
scripted too much.
And yeah, it's not just that he's scripted.
Mhm.
He just doesn't know how to deliver a promo. And
Yeah.
if you like Roman, I could care
Mhm.
less. I enjoyed him in the Shield, just
Yeah.
because
He has
it was.
grown on me though.
Yeah, because Dean was the
Mhm.
charismatic mic talker. Seth was the high flying
Yeah.
technical. Roman was the muscle. That fit him good because he had two guys to have contrast with. Now that he's on
Mhm.
his own and he's brothers with Dean, it just feels weird and it's not right. Um, I don't know. I think that the booking was what it was, and I think one of the reasons why they cashed it in last night was just to get it out the way.
Yeah.
Because there was no other time to really do it. So I think it makes sense. I liked it. I didn't love it, but it was what it was.
Yeah, to me, I mean, I feel like they should actually have more build-up going into that. I mean, I like how the outcome goes into it, but maybe sometimes switch it up just to make it a little bit more different. I think that would be pretty cool to see that going and have it in another way where it won't be that much unexpected and everything. And a little bit of a change, I think that would be good. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. So, Angry Mark, your thoughts?
I I think they should have went ahead and gave Roman like a month's reign, so that way you can see how the reaction goes in each city. You know,
Mm,
especially the ones that are smart marks like Chicago, New York, etc. And if he actually got a decent reaction there, I would have had him keep the title longer. But if that didn't work, then fine, have Sheamus cash in. I would have been okay with that. And Sheamus is actually, hold on, to say that
mm,
Sheamus is actually a better in worker than Roman Reigns. I feel like it's kind of absurd. Roman Reigns, mind you, got people to invest in the Big Show match in Chicago at Extreme Rules.
yeah, I
That is
remember that.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to see Sheamus try that.
Hmm.
And again, granted, yes, there are some stuff that are bad on the Reigns, like the whole cockfist thing, that and his promos. But other than that, it's like, what's the problem with Roman Reigns? It's like, oh, all right, that's right. It's because he didn't wrestle in Ring of Honor for 10 years.
Oh, that's not it. Trust me. There's many
No.
more reasons. And I might like to add, yeah, Big
Hmm.
Sheamus did do that. He had a one-on-one match with Big Show at Hell in a Cell, and they loved that way more than they liked the Extreme Rules match. So that's my argument to that.
Yeah. Yeah, but going into that, especially now, since we got Survivor Series out of the way, now moving on into TLC. Going into a little bit, I know I didn't have far too much plans for the rest of the show. Basically, the rest of the part of it, basically random ramblings, if you want to put it that way. What are your thoughts on going into WrestleMania 32? What are you looking forward into? What do you think could happen? Anything that you're looking forward into seeing? Amy, Mark, your thoughts?
First off, Sting versus Taker has to happen. It's the
Mm-hmm.
match that everyone's been begging for
Because it's like
basically
27, yeah.
I
Yeah,
would like
for
to see that.
years.
Yeah.
And I'm actually looking forward to WrestleMania 32. There's gonna be a lot of good stuff happening. I mean, they're trying to sell out the AT&T Stadium, which I believe holds 100,000 people. So
Somewhere
that's
around
a
there.
that's a huge goal to set for yourself. So without a
Hmm.
doubt, I wouldn't be surprised if they did get an Austin or someone like that out of retirement in order to wrestle again. You know, and yeah, I got really high expectations. That's for every WrestleMania I do. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they would be able to sell out the place, and especially with it being that much of a record, I think they'll be able to pull it off. And so far, they are having another edition of tickets being able to go on sale. So I saw that not too long ago. So that's going to be awesome, and hopefully see the guys like Kevin Owens be there, of course, the Sting and Undertaker match that does seem to be awesome. Hopefully, we will get to see that, but you never know. Hopefully, depending on Sting, so he should be good by then. So that would be nice. So just to name a few, I mean, stuff like that should be interesting when you're 32, have more of the excitement getting there too after the TLC. So, Austin, your thoughts on
Well, I'm
WrestleMania?
super excited because I love this around this time of year
Yeah.
because I'm going to the next pay-per-view. Rumble's my
Mhm.
favorite pay-per-view. Fuck Fastlane to hell, and then WrestleMania. February is not going to be that great.
Mhm.
But however, if you notice, every WrestleMania has its own flavor and its own
Yeah,
special moments with its own special matches. This year we
it's
got
different
Seth
each year.
Rollins cashing in, and we got DX and NWO coming back, and we got
Mhm.
Taker Bray, which I don't care what name. I really enjoyed that match. Just we had a lot of great things this year, and I really
Yeah.
enjoyed this year's Mania, and I'm willing to bet next year tops it. Would I love to see Austin back in the ring? Yes, but he is fragile. You have to be careful. Him and Brock, yeah, amazing marketing. Okay, that would sell out the arena, boom, just like that.
Mhm.
But that's dangerous as shit. You can't have Austin hurt anymore.
Yeah.
He's without a doubt the all-time greatest superstar, not
I see him
wrestler,
being as a
not
Hulk,
wrestler,
really.
but the greatest superstar of all time.
Mhm.
I'd really love to see them go with Rock and Triple H if they keep doing that.
They can pull that off.
Ronda
Yeah.
Rousey being at Mania would be amazing, which I can see happening. But at the same time, if I do want Rock and Triple H, but Rock and Brock too is pretty overdue in my opinion because I
Mhm.
love their first match and that would be incredible. I think if they did it again. Yeah, I'd see a lot of great things. It's really interesting to see how Owens does, how Cesaro does if he comes back, which I'm depressed he's injured.
Mhm.
Maybe Balor will come up. Who knows what Tyler Breeze will do? All these guys, there's so many things that could happen. I think they're really going to pull out all the stops for WrestleMania 32.
All right. So, final thing, before we head and go off here, and I don't usually do this that often, but going into thoughts on what do you think would be happening for Raw, a special preview. For me, I feel like, of course, we'll have like probably like a championship celebration going on for Sheamus and see how things go with him and the Authority. So that'll probably going into the works, and then of course with him and Roman start things off too with their feud to see where that's gonna go. Since Goldust did return last night, I'm sure we'll be able to see him on there. Maybe have him
Wait,
in
Goldust
Stardust.
returned? What did I miss?
Oh yeah, he actually did return, but apparently it was on the pre-show, so
Oh, that's
maybe
whack. What
yeah,
kind of shit is that, bro?
I don't know.
I didn't even
That's
watch the damn
crazy.
pre-show.
Yeah, but yeah, so maybe we'll get to see him and Stardust actually continue their feud since that was basically stopped with Goldust's injury, like I mentioned to you in my review. So stuff like that, and should be interesting. I mean, I am looking forward to Raw to see where it's going to go. So, Angry Mark, your thoughts on special Raw preview? What do you think is going to be going down for tonight?
To answer, sorry about that. To answer also this question, I've been watching wrestling since 1998. And as for my preview for Raw,
Nice.
I feel like we're gonna have. I think they're gonna set up Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. They're gonna have Roman Reigns chase Sheamus for the title, and hopefully he wins at least by Royal Rumble. So nobody cares
Alright.
about Sheamus. Yeah. Um, and also Goldust returning. I don't think he's gonna be on Raw. I think that because Cesaro got injured, and I believe he was supposed to be a part of that match.
Mhm.
That's why he showed up. So yeah, but I would love for him to show up, to to give us the feud that we were all looking for, which is Stardust versus Goldust, and then him beating the Stardust out of Cody Rhodes. And hopefully, you know, the Divas Revolutions keeps picking up. You know, I like women's wrestling. I want it to succeed. So yeah.
Well, this is awkward.
Yeah.
All right. In the meantime, let me take a selfie first.
Okay, Tyler Breeze.
I can't believe we didn't talk about this match. I love Tyler Breeze. Why didn't we talk about his match? That was a great match too. Are you a Tyler Breeze hater, or do you appreciate his work?
I like Tyler Breeze, but as for the match, I didn't like it. It was just so boring. It's like, why should I care?
I like
You
the
know,
match. I don't see what was wrong with it.
there's just nothing to really care about. There's nothing at stake. It was just a match.
So? So?
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about wrestling is that you need you need something to fight about. If you're just two random jobbers fighting, it's like,
oh,
what's
they're
the
not jobbers. Pat.
No, they're definitely not.
They're definitely not jobbers.
Yeah.
No, they just have a feud and they had a match, and you know, may the best blonde win.
Pretty much how it is, yeah. Alright, so Austin, your thoughts on Raw? What are you looking forward to?
Okay, anyways, I think that Raw is gonna be all right. Nothing I'm really looking forward to be honest. I hope Goldust is there because Goldust is still amazing. He's still in his prime, which is nuts, considering how long he's been around. They're obviously gonna open the show with Sheamus, like they always open the damn show up at the Authority. And if Sheamus shows up in a suit, that's gonna be a bit awkward. Because he's not the suit and tie type guy. I see Cesaro maybe being a suit and tie type guy. I don't see.
That does make sense.
Yeah, I don't see. What Sheamus gonna slick back his mohawk? No, like I don't see. No, and if he does, he's gonna have to take out that stupid septum piercing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think they're. I don't know. It's probably just gonna be a regular ass Raw. I hope Paige either. Because I like Charlotte, but I want Paige to be champ again. I'm still upset she lost. She should have won, in my opinion. And if not, I hope in Boston, when I go, that Sasha Banks wins the title. So maybe they'll set something up. Maybe the whole Paige Charlotte thing was short-lived. Maybe they'll continue it. Or maybe they'll, maybe they'll turn Sasha, or no, keep Sasha heel because Charlotte's a face, and have her go after Charlotte. And who knows what could happen from there. I really don't know what else could happen. It's probably just going to be a regular 3-hour Raw. Big whoop. Who gives a shit? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be whatever. And there's Cesaro's going to be out, so Raw to me is Cesaro, Seth, and Bryan. The three best wrestlers in the company are all out. It's
a shame.
Wrestling's going to really feel awkward for me. Wrestling's really going to feel a bit awkward for me. Thankfully, Owens is there. But
hopefully we had no more injuries. We seem to
no more.
Yeah, I think we had enough of that. We don't need that.
Yeah, maybe Del Rio will have a new feud. Owens will have a new feud that they can both go into. I'd like to see Owens work with Ambrose, to be honest. I think that would be great. Or put Ambrose with Del Rio, maybe, if you want to go that route. Either one would work. I don't know what to expect. Hopefully they just don't throw in a bunch of random-ass matches and Authority segments like how they always do. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I'll still watch, though.
Yeah, but also, too, to note things off, and another thing that I actually did want to touch bases on, too, especially with yesterday, celebrating 25 years of The Undertaker, and it's been crazy that it's been 25 years already, which is awesome. Definitely thank The Undertaker for everything that he's done. Without those 25 years, who knows what would be going down. But with The Undertaker, very awesome, one of my favorites to watch. And your thoughts on The Undertaker favorite matches? I'm gonna go ahead and run with that. And Austin, your thoughts on The Undertaker?
Undertaker and Shawn Michaels are the two best performers to ever step foot in a wrestling ring, no questions asked. You could argue on who's better. To me, it's Shawn, but Taker is right there, and Taker is absolutely incredible. It's super hard to think of one match. Obviously, WrestleMania 25, WrestleMania 26, WrestleMania 28, His Hell in the Cell with Edge, holy shit.
That was awesome.
His WrestleMania 14 with Kane, WrestleMania 29 with Punk, his Hell in the Cell with Brock, the first one. Shit, he's had so many classics, it's honestly hard to remember them all. Some of his matches with Austin. God, it's honestly hard to think of all these, but I loved his match with 21 with Orton, his match with Kurt Angle at No Way Out, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too.
Yeah, so many classic Undertaker matches, and I honestly hope I get to meet him one day and tell him thank you, because I remember I was 3 years old in 2002 when I first started watching, and the American Badass was so cool to me. Then, 2 years later, I'm 5 years old, and he's a dead man, and, it was just everything, seeing him grow from 2002 on was just absolutely amazing. And he's the backbone of the history of WWE. Without The Undertaker, there would be no WWE. So,
exactly.
25 amazing years of dominance.
Yeah. I mean, I had the honor of actually seeing him before live too in person, so that was awesome to see that. Yeah, basically for matches with me, the one with Kurt Angle, that was cool since you mentioned that. Any one of the matches between him, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels are awesome. That was always fun to go back and check out and watch, and a whole bunch of them too. Hopefully we'll get the DVD, since I haven't really gotten the DVD yet on him. I would like to see that too within time. But Angry Mark, your thoughts on The Undertaker, especially throughout these 25 years?
Man, I'm gonna miss The Undertaker, man.
Oh yeah.
And I was so fortunate enough to actually be at a Raw where I got to see the build between Triple H and Undertaker for their Hell in a Cell match. And his entrance, if you're there live in audience, there's no way you can't have chills running through your body.
That's amazing.
It's just amazing.
Bone chilling.
It is.
Yeah. My favorite match of his, I watch this always like 24/7. It's probably the match I've watched the most, which is Mankind and Taker.
How could I forget? Wow. I'm gonna kill myself after this stream.
Oh god.
The story with that match was just fantastic, and then of course Mankind doing what Mankind does best, that's getting the crap beat out of him. And there's really no words really that you can use to explain the Undertaker's career. It's just phenomenal. You can actually debate on like a few wrestlers who are up there with Undertaker, but there's no one better, I think. Like, it's just a magnificent career.
It truly is, yeah. Yeah, so, that about does it for the show. I want to thank you guys for coming on in, and you're more than welcome to actually promote your stuff, so we'll go around before we end things off. Angry Mark, if you have any shout-outs that you want to give?
Nah, no shout-outs, but, to plug myself, I'm the Angry Mark. You can go watch me get really, really mad at Survivor Series on my last video. That's why I can't talk.
I thought you just like smoked a pack of cigarettes or something. I'm glad you cleared that up.
I'm straight edge. I was straight edge before CM Punk was, so. Yeah,
pretty much the same way.
David, you drink. Shut the hell up.
Sometimes, on a rare occasion.
And my channel is called The Angry Mark. You can follow me on Twitter at West_Texas. It's an easy name to remember. I got a Mixler account, Wrestling Fan 42. Yeah, doing shows on there, probably starting next weekend. So, yeah.
All right, and then we got Austin, last but not least.
I'm not on YouTube as much, but you can, if you would check out my SoundCloud, that'd be great. I was telling David, I fucking recorded the 19th song on my mixtape yesterday. Holy
That's badass.
19. Yeah. And if my SoundCloud is infamous_A. My YouTube, which I don't use, only one of my songs is on there, is infamous_A617. If you guys want to check that out, that's cool. Instagram, infamous_A617, infamous_A617. And Twitter, same thing. I don't use Twitter at all. So if you just want to see me posting about or retweeting pictures of ass and titties, then you can go ahead and follow me there. And shout out to Scarlett Johansson. Happy 31st birthday, you sexy motherfucker.
All right. So with
So
that
that's
said,
it. And
Mm.
shout out to my mom. You're awesome.
Shout out to my
Dream,
mom as
thank you
well.
guys. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so one other way to end it right there. So thank you guys for coming on in. A little bit of impromptu in the hot seat live, and leave your comments down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.